It's still a Friday, happy Friday. We continuing with part 2 of talking about our vagina and the smell from our vaginas. Ladies, it's okay to say vagina. Well, not in your language, of course. It sounds so wrong. Imagine me saying the X. She, No, I can't say that word. No, it sounds so wrong. Have you ever wondered if your vagina smell? Better yet, if your vagina smell like other ladies' vaginas? Worse, if everyone can smell your vagina. If you are wondering, stay tuned, because we are going to talk about all things vagina. Yes, ladies, I said it. Vagina. It's okay to say the word, but don't say it in your language because it sounds so vulgar. I know, right? I know. Vagina and the smell. So, by nature, a vagina is supposed to smell like a vagina. And I know, as you're asking, how does a vagina smell? Because you only know the smell of your own vagina. Unless if you're creepy, you smell other people's vagina, your friend's vagina. I've never smelled my friend's vagina. I don't know how vagina smell. I only know from my experience, from my own. But I can tell you one thing, if mine smells, girl, I know. If it's not the natural smell, because the natural smell is acceptable. It's not, some people's vaginas, according to some men. No, I've never laughed so hard. And that's the reason why I'm also doing this topic. Because the other day I was with my male friends. As always, we talk about nonsense. And one of the guys said he once had a sex with this girl, and the girl smelled like the cow poo. What do we call the cow poo in English? Dung. Cow dung. Yeah, dung. Cow dung. Do you know how the cow dung smell, guys? He said that girl's vagina smelled like a cow dung. Cow dung. Whatever it is, the cow poo. Yeah, let's just call it cow poo. He could not take it. It was horrible. Made me wonder, what do people I sleep with think of my vagina smell? Do they think it smells like a cow dung? Oh no, I hope they don't, because I'll die. Yeah, but for me, guys, I always smell my vagina. I just check, sometimes you wipe yourself, take a tissue, smell it, just to check if we're still okay, we're still balanced, we are not. The second thing is, do vaginas smell the same? I don't know. I wouldn't know, like I said. But a vagina shouldn't concern, the vagina smell shouldn't concern you. The moment it starts concerning you, it means something is wrong and you need to do something about it. Because they say a vagina has a natural smell. Like a natural smell is the one that doesn't make you worry, like it just smells good, right? And even if you can put a perfume on a smelly vagina, it will still smell. Let me save you. Let me just save you. Don't even try it. But what you can do is that you can get help. Okay? So now I want to talk about some types of vaginas, type of things that can make your vagina smell. And the first thing, as I've already alluded to on the last video where I talked about being allergic to semen, is that if you are allergic to semen and you don't get help, it then gets to that point where it affects the smell of your vagina, and it is horrible. beyond horrible. It's like 100,000 dead rats. Like, I just want you to imagine 100,000 dead rats put in a sewage that is next to a DD box. Do you know a DD box? It's a waste area. We call it a DD box. So imagine that smell combined, how it will smell. Yeah, like that. So, number one, reason for your vagina being smelly, it can be that you are reacting to a semen, and then it has given you an infection that is now smelling. And the good thing about our vagina, guys, is that they can communicate to us. It's in us who don't listen. Because the fact that your vagina is smelling, it's saying, help, help, I need help. You know, and most women, we try to think that there's something wrong with you. Like, oh my God, I can't even go see a doctor about my smelly vagina. How will he think of me? Girl, the doctors know that you have sex. The doctors know that things can happen. Even if it's a STI, it's okay. The doctors know that things can happen. So this thing of shaming yourself, of thinking that when your vagina smells you can't get help, you are killing yourself. Sex can kill, by the way, because of such things. Alright, so there's this thing called vaginitis. Vaginitis, guys, there's so many big words here. Vaginitis is the inflammation of the vulva in the vagina, and this can be caused by either a bacteria, it can be caused by the food that you eat, it can be caused by the environment factors, it can be caused by a sexual transmitted infection, it can be caused by so many things. So when we talk environmental factors, we are talking about things like wearing tight clothes, your vagina don't get to breathe, it then affects you. We're talking about using soaps that are for things that can affect you. You know, they say don't wash your vagina with a soap, and I'm like, what? Say what? Wash it with water? What? No, But the thing is, don't wash it with soaps that are too strong because it can affect you. But wait, say what? So anyone can get vaginitis, and there's nothing wrong. It doesn't say that you are a whore, you know. So let's talk about the first thing where I said is bacteria can be an overgrowth of the bacteria, like the natural bacteria that you have inside of you. Something can trigger it, and then there will be an overgrowth of it, and then that can then result into your vagina having discharge, which is normal. A discharge caused by the overgrowth of a bacteria will be a grayish, whitish in color, and has a fishy odor. Remember growing up, guys, they used to say people, they have got fishy, small fishy inside of them. I never understood. In my imagination as a young girl, I thought like fish comes from the vagina. Like, how does that work? I used to be terrified of sex. It helped me because I was so terrified of sex. I had sex at a very late age. So thank you guys for terrifying me with that fishy story. But yeah, it will then have that fishy odor, which is like horrible. You know, it can be people can also smell you if you don't take care of yourself and get help. If you let it continue, yeast infection, we all know, ladies. Did you know that some women like me get yeast infection after using antibiotics? Oh guys, antibiotics, they kill me. Like, your vagina will be inflamed and it will be itchy. You know, it's so painful. Like, I hate it. Those certain antibiotics, they kill me. They give me the yeast infection. And the yeast infection, it's the itchiness, and yeast discharge is whitish cottage cheese like. You know, it doesn't really smell that much, but it's just disgusting, of course. Like, who wants a discharge? The virus can cause vaginitis, and the virus here can be a STI. You know, we've learned about STIs back in the days. We know that it is real, it can happen, and this one can manifest as herpes, you know, the herpes, or the HPV, which is the human papilloma virus. Oh, my doctor friends, how the heck did you pass your exams with all these difficult jargons? Human papilloma virus. I respect. Oh, and again, STI is nothing to be ashamed of, guys. Sometimes it is your partner who goes out, sleeps with other women, and they come back and sleep with you. Why should you be ashamed? You know, you need to get help. This thing of shaming ourselves, guys, must stop. Let's get help. The doctor doesn't even know you. The doctor sees so many patients every day. He won't even remember you when he gets home. So stop shaming yourself. Experiencing these things that I'm talking about, get help. Shaming yourself doesn't help. Then you are just, you know, not showing yourself love. Again, the environmental factor, where poor hygiene, where you don't bath, of course, or where you don't wash your vagina. Ladies, it's important to wash our vaginas. Like, can we just wash our vaginas? But that can also, you know, things can grow inside of you while you're not washing. So please, wearing tight clothing, you know, your skinny jeans. Like, imagine you wear skinny jeans every day, your thing is being tight. It can affect you, and some materials of underwear can also affect you. I've also realized that there are certain underwear that when I wear, I'm like a bit itchy. So I am very conscious of that. So what are the symptoms of vaginitis? We know the cause of vaginitis, which are the things that I've just said, but the symptoms, it can be itching, it can be inflammation, the redness in your vagina, it can be discomfort when you're urinating, it can also be all those discharge that I've explained, the cottage cheese discharge, the grayish discharge, and it can also be that fishy odor that I've talked about. So when you're experiencing these things in your vagina, again, it's your vagina communicating, saying, help, something is wrong down there. You know, we always say that our body parts can't speak to us, they do speak to us. It's up to us to start saying, vagina, what are you really saying to me about this discharge? Then you come back to this video and like, oh my gosh, she talked about it. Oh, it's grayish, it's got a fishy odor. It's a bacteria. I have an overgrowth of bacteria, let me get help. So that's how you get help. How can you know the symptoms now? So that's one way of diagnosing yourself. See a doctor, get some antibiotic in cases where it's needed, or you can also do the natural remedies that can also help you. And I also encourage you to get some probiotics, they also help you. Get plain yogurt, they say it's good for you. And sometimes you might need to see a gynecologist, but we know that gynecologists take long to get an appointment. But see the doctor, get help. They can do test examination, they can do lab tests, depending on the cases that you're having, right? So what are the solutions? How can I help myself? How can I help my vagina to be good? And it is also important to know that if your vaginitis is caused by a virus, which can lead to STI, you also need to discuss that with your partner. Your partner needs to get checked, he needs to get the medication, and you refrain from having sex until the medication has worked. Then you can have sex, because if you don't do that, you continue having sex, you're gonna reinfect each other and you will never get better, and your house is gonna smell like fish, it's gonna smell like 1,000 rats have died, it's gonna smell like that cow dung that I told you about. It's just not worth it. So do get help, and again, communicate. Don't hide it from your partner to say, oh my god, I found out that I've got STI, how do I approach it? Girl, stop being selfless, especially if you know that you didn't even go out and cheat. Deal with that man, let him know that you know. You remember that how did I get married with that guy? had STI, and then he was hiding it from his wife, only to find out that the wife is the one who gave him. Yeah, so let's communicate, guys. It is very important to communicate. It's for our own safety, and of course some of these viruses, they can kill you if you don't get help. Google and find what are other natural remedies that you can use to help yourself. But talk. I encourage you to talk, get help. You've got a sister in me. Come ask me about anything. Don't be ashamed, guys. If you can sit and hear and know that your thing is smelling, get help. I don't want you to suffer in silence. I don't want you to suffer alone. You know, we are here to support and help each other. This is a place where we share, learn, heal, and grow. Oh, it is so suiting to this topic for today. We are sharing, hoping that you're gonna learn, hoping that you're gonna heal if you are already affected, and that you'll grow from it and you'll know what to do next time. So I love you as always. Never stop becoming, never stop learning. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video. I love you, my people. Peace out. Peace out. Peace. And I want to do another video where we talk about grooming. Grooming is very important. I'm going to do that video very soon where we talk about sort of preparing yourself for intimate moment. I think something like that, something along that way. I can't wait to do that video. But until then, let's love our vaginas, let's listen to our vaginas, and let's take care of our vaginas. They're the best thing that could have ever happened to us as ladies. As the men, they know, they'll tell you. I love you guys. Till next time. I love you. I love you. I love you.